Hi, Stacie. This is Michael Katz.
Hello, Mr. Katz. How are you? I'm so glad you called this morning. You know a lot about this.
All right.
Welcome and hello. So
Thanks.
what you got for us this morning? Mr. Katz. All right, y'all.
So I got some thoughts about Ukraine, but I wanted to talk about Palestine today. That's really why I was calling.
We can talk. Let's go.
So,
Hang on just a second. Let me do something real quick. Hold on before
all right.
we're gonna cover our rear ends just real quick. Like we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Watch. Check it out.
The views and opinions expressed on the Morning Grind are not necessarily the views or opinions of KAZI's board, staff, underwriters, or volunteers.
All right.
Okay.
Now we can go. What you got?
All right. So, I don't know. I don't know who's been following this on the news, but Israel and Palestine has been on the news a lot, and it's it seems like it's going almost full fascist over there at this point. But I've been involved with this issue for a long time, and a lot of people they hear it's complicated, they don't really understand what it's about, and they don't really they don't want to go into it. But it's actually very simple, where it's just a case of religious discrimination, and it, it's not really popular to say it because the Israel lobby is very influential, and they've convinced a lot of people that they could be accused of anti-Semitism if they accuse Israel. So people are very afraid to do it. But I'm Jewish, so it's much harder to accuse me of that. So I feel like I have to be involved in this and tell people, no, it's not anti-Semitic to stand up for the basic rights of Palestinians. And I'm actually going to be going out during South by Southwest. And anyone who wants to join me could come out there. I'm good. I'm going to be on the corner of 6th Street and Congress every day, Monday through Friday this coming week, from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on for about 2 or 3 hours. And I'm going to be holding a sign that says, "I'm Jewish and I don't support Israel. Please ask me why." So,
and you've just told us why. So, because I'm going to read just real quick
Yep.
for definition, because again, with this particular topic, people get all mixed up with the words and things, right?
Mhm.
So, with religious discrimination, by definition, it's treating individuals differently because of their religious beliefs, practices, and or their requests for accommodations of their religious beliefs and practices. It also includes treating individuals differently because of their lack of religious beliefs and practices. So, when we're talking about, how is this basic? Well, give us a little insight on that. Like you said, at surface level, yes, it is. It's that. But with that definition, like what kind of things are happening that are religious discrimination? Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there.
All right. Well, I'll just give a little background. In 1948, Zionists, who were Jewish people who came mostly from Europe, came to what was Palestine, and decided that they need a safe place for the Jews. And so they threw out 75% of the non-Jews who live there, and they've never let them return ever since. And Israel's existence is based on blocking those people from returning and voting so they could have a Jewish voting majority. That's how they maintain the so-called Jewish state.
That doesn't sound fair.
No, it doesn't. And most people agree that doesn't sound fair, but they don't understand that that's the situation.
Goodness gracious. Well, thank you so much for that perspective, because that's, again, to me, that's like, and again, like, how long do we stand by and allow things that or how long do we let people tell us that things are right and exact without actually looking into them ourselves? I'll say it like that, because I'm not going to tell anybody what to think about this particular situation, but I am going to say that very few of us have enough information to come up with a real assessment of what's going on. There's very few of us that have all that information that we would need to really see that, what is happening over there. So when people, when people do have that information, it's important that you share it. So thank you. Look, this is, if we can add some clarity to some things, and this is not this is no speculation or anything like that. These are just straight historical facts.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Katz.
Well, and here's the thing. It's like it's difficult sometimes to decipher exactly what's going on in faraway places or what was going on a long time ago in those places. But what we do know is that if you announce that you have a state where the whole purpose of it is to favor members of one religion, that's inherently discriminatory. There's no way that it could not be. So just in principle, that goes against the founding principles of our country, which in our First Amendment, we have separation of religion and state.
Right. No, that's what I was going to ask is like, so how does that impact us? How do the relations over there impact us on this side?
Well,
we got like give me 1 minute, and then we're going to go to break. But yeah, tell us in 1 minute, how does that impact us here?
Well, we could certainly be dragged into a war. The Iraq War, the reason they gave for the Iraq War was not that we were going to be attacked. They said Saddam Hussein could threaten our allies in the region. Our number one ally in the region is this apartheid state that we're funding with billions of dollars a year in military aid that's unconditional. A few people like Bernie Sanders said at least we should make the military aid conditional on their behavior. It sounds reasonable, but people who say that get called anti-Semitic. It's
Bernie
crazy.
Sanders Jewish too?
He is, and that's why he could say it, and he knows that it's harder to call him that, so that's why he'll say it. But many people are afraid to even say that.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for that. We're going to show these sponsors some love, and I'll bring you back after the break. We'll talk for just like a couple more minutes, and then I'd actually like to open up the phone lines to see if anybody else has anything to say about all of this, because to me, it's like, let's call things what they are so that we can then address them for what they are.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
And move forward. Because, yes, of course, nobody is going to deny that a person should have a safe place to exist. No one is going to deny that, right?
Yeah.
However, it shouldn't be at the expense of other innocent people.
Yeah,
So,
it's not equal rights to violate the rights of one group to give another group an insurance policy, and that's to do that with Jewish people. It's acting like we're worth more than other people. It's Jewish supremacy. Is that ideology? That's not equal rights. That's supremacy of one group.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. So here's what I'm going to do now, because I think that's a good spot for us to stop and take some calls and comment on this. But thank you so much for that perspective and that clarity. Let's just start talking. Let's call things what they are, and then address them from that and say, are you, like I've said many times, I'm one person, and everybody might not agree with me, but I think it's important that everybody knows as much information as possible so that they can make an educated decision and they're not just being lemmings running off the cliff with everybody who says, this is what we're supposed to say here. But they don't even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for calling. Thank you for that clarity. You're welcome to call anytime. And we're going to show these sponsors some love. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Congress and 6th, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. I'll be there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Katz.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.